Hi friends, welcome to Nessa's Nook. So today I'm going to make something my friend Mary at a little house, Happy Home, had made. Now, I was at the store twice this weekend, and did you think I could remember the carrots? No. So I had to actually take apart a bag of the mixed vegetables with the carrots in there so I could actually take the carrots and use it for here. So what I'm going to do is, I'll tell you what the name of this is. I can't think of the name right now. But I'll go ahead and start the chicken. Then behind me, I'm going to go ahead and start getting the vegetables prepped for this. So I'll bring it down here and show you. I got my new 13-inch pan here. And I got that started on heat there. I'm going to go ahead and put some oil in there. Go ahead and spread that oil all the way around. Make sure it's all nice and covered everything. It shouldn't take too long for that to come up to temperature. Now she also used the thighs, but I only have just the drummies. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Now we don't know for sure if Kim is coming over tonight for dinner. We have invited her. But I know yesterday she went to a wedding, so that kind of tuckered her out. She hurt her leg earlier this year, and it's really hard for her to still get around, and she has to put her feet up and everything like that. But you know what I'm wondering? Let me see, this is 2/4. I'm going to go ahead and just cook the other 2 drummies that I have in this bag, just to get rid of them. Well, that one looks like it's missing a leg, but whatever. So go ahead and do that. I'm still going to use the same amount of vegetables and everything, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and I am going to season that with a little bit of this that I got from Gordon Food Services. It comes with some onion, not parsley, paprika, garlic, and pepper. But I'm still going to add a little bit more salt and pepper to this, and when I flip this, I'll add more on the other side. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my onion and garlic mixed together and throw that on there. I have my fan going. I'm canning in my kitchen today. I picked up 36 of those little containers of raspberries, so I'm making some raspberry jam, or raspberry pie filling. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on here, let it kind of air out a little bit so that can actually not splatter all over my kitchen. And I'll bring it over to the island and we'll get the vegetables started. So anyways, I asked Mark to get me 2 potatoes, and these are not seconds, but they say, I love you, right? So I have my food processor sitting out here. I have some celery, some onions. These are the carrots I'm going to use for that. And this KitchenAid has the dicing blade, which I'm going to go ahead and use. There's like a little, let me find it on here real quick. There's a little notch right here, and there's a little notch oh, probably because I got it sideways. I'm like, where's my notch? And then you have the little notch right here. So what you do is you put in your little whirligig, and then you line up this notch, and this goes right down. Then all you gotta do is lock it, and then all you gotta do is turn it on. Now Mary did not put in the potatoes with this when she was cooking it, but I'm going to. So I'm going to go and show you how this works. This is actually my most favorite food processor to date. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on high. I thought that was still a little too big. Alright, let me get the onions. The green pepper, the red peppers, and the celery. Let me cut these potatoes up just a little bit smaller to fit through that chute. But see how much time that saves your person here? So go ahead and do that. Do you know how long that would have taken me to cut all that stuff by hand? So then all you have to do is I just take the lid completely off. Meanwhile, the chicken's sitting over there still cooking. Knock out what food you can. And this now is what you're going to have. Now this has, like I said, this has it will have the carrots once it goes in there. But this has the celery, potatoes, peppers, and onions in there. So that's what you see. So what I'm going to be doing is let the chicken cook just a few minutes longer, and I'll bring it back over to the stove and show you that part. And while we're waiting, I'm going to take my big family size broth. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in my 4-cup measuring cup. Get that part ready here. That's probably got them out another about 4 or 5 ounces. But the chicken right now is looking really good. We'll let that cook for just a few minutes longer and get the other part started. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take out this chicken now and just put that on a separate plate without trying to burn myself, obviously. This chicken's not all the way done, but the chicken's going to go back in this meal to actually go ahead and finish cooking. So I don't have to worry about it just being undercooked. I mean, I'll obviously check the temperature before serving so we know everything's good. And I'm going to go ahead and leave all the drippings from the chicken in there. Pour a little bit more oil in there to cook the veggies up. And try to scrape this up just a little bit before I that will come up honestly with when I get the broth in there. So I go ahead and stir this all up. Now this is obviously going to be too much for the 3 of us, but that's okay. And I know it's not going to have as many carrots, but I tried to rehydrate some of the carrots and be dehydrated. I mean, it works fine in the Instapot when I'm doing like a soup or something, but I wasn't a fan of the flavor. And figure out where I put my rag here. So what I'm going to do is put just a little bit more of the seasoning on here. I'm going to go ahead and let this cook. I am just going to put just a little bit of the broth in here. So that stuff will come up off the bottom. And I'll be putting the lid back on here to go ahead and soften up these vegetables. And I'll be stirring these along every so often. And I'll bring you back for the rest of it. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I have my own homemade Bisque mix, and I'll link that to this video. And then I got some milk here. This is how Mary says she does hers. This is a half a cup of milk. This is 1 cup of mix. I might have to add a little bit more milk to it. You can add spices, which I'll probably go ahead and add just a little bit of parsley. Add just a little bit more milk. Now, I never usually cook with Bisque, so all that's kind of new to me to do. And I know the broth will have quite a bit of flavor to it. Oh, that looks pretty nice. She made hers a little bit more watery. I don't think it really matters if it's more watery or not. I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of parsley in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and throw in just some of my garlic and onion powder. I did put all the spices actually in the vegetables too. So this is all made. So when I get ready for that part, I'll bring you along for that. The vegetables, by the way, are looking very yummy. Almost done. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and give this one more stir here. And I did actually put some of the broth down here, so it did get all the bits off the bottom of the pan from cooking the chicken. Because my chicken's not done, I know I want this to cook just a little bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in... Ooh, that's going to make this container really, really full. I'm going to go ahead and stir this up a little bit before I put in the chicken. Alright, find my tongs really quick. Go ahead and throw the chicken back in here. Yes, my counters are clean. Now I do have to leave room for the Bisque mix too. And yes, Kim is coming over for dinner, which is nice. I haven't seen her all week. So go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on just for a little bit. The lid's not going to really cover that much because it's already way too full. But I'm going to put the lid back on and let that cook for a few more minutes. Alright, unlike Mary, I don't think I'm going to be able to put my lid back on. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the Bisque mix here that I made homemade. And I'm just going to put smaller amounts like she did because I really do not like... I mean, it's one thing if you're just eating a biscuit, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to have massive pieces of Bisque. I know back in the day, my mom used to make this one stuff. It was gizzards and hearts and gizzards. I could never stand that meal. My daughter, I never told her at first what it was because she loved it so much. And my sister loved it, my dad loved it. I just, oh, I couldn't, I couldn't handle it. So I would just eat just the biscuits and a little bit of the gravy. And thankfully we didn't have that a whole bunch of times, but we had it more times than I cared to have had it, so. It's amazing when you have something growing up and you just, you know, you just can't really stomach it really anymore. Not that I ever could stomach it, but I eventually, Bree did find out what that meal was made of, and she still liked it, which really absolutely shocked me. She goes, yeah, Grandma makes us the best stuff, and I'm like, okay, you know. So that was really nice that she continued to still like it, even though she found out exactly what it really was. And I think that 1 cup of Bisque mix, honestly, I mean, there's just a little bit left. I think that's about the right amount, honestly. I don't know for sure if that's going to help soak up some of the broth. I'm not for sure because I've never made this before. But that's what that's looking like. And I guess I'm going to let this go for about another 10 minutes or so to make sure the chicken's all the way cooked and the biscuits are done. Alright, because I couldn't put the lid on there, it did not work like Mary's did. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is the chicken is done. I did test it. And pull a couple of the drummies out of here. And the biscuits are not as done as I would like them to be. But everybody's hungry. And so this, my friends, is going to be dinner. There will be a name for this. It's a Pennsylvania something or another. I can't remember what she called it. But this is dinner tonight. And thank you very much, Mary, for showing me how to make this. And you all have a very blessed and wonderful day.